Hi everyone. Today we will learn about Linux introduction. What is Linux and key features of Linux, Linux distributions, Linux versus Windows, architecture, and example flow. So what is Linux? And Linux is a free and open source software, and small organizations can use the Linux for free, and big organizations use the Linux for enterprise versions. They'll use, okay, that is licensed version. And this Linux runs on servers, desktops, and mobile devices. So example for Linux are like Red Hat Linux, Ubuntu, and Amazon Linux. Let's learn about key features of Linux. Linux is secure and stable. That means it is protected through threads and runs reliably without crashing. So Linux is very much it will not allow any viruses to attack, and also Linux can run for a more number of months and years. So it is stable. Even though it runs for months and years, it is very much stable. So next feature is fast and efficient. Linux is Linux performance wise, Linux is very quick and fast and efficient with minimal resources like CPU and RAM, and it will provide the maximum output. That is the fast and efficient feature. What is multi-user feature? Many people can use the same system. Both have user accounts and permissions. That means multiple users can use the same system at the same time. So both users should have the separate accounts. Okay. Next, what is multitasking? On the same laptop, we can use we can work on the same laptop. At the same time, we can listen to the songs and videos, and we can download some files at the same time. We can do that is called multitasking. And wide hardware support. That means runs on many different devices and components without compatibility issues. So Linux can run on different devices and components without compatibility issues. These are the key features of Linux. Linux distribution. Linux has many versions called distributions and many flavors of Linux, like RHCL used in the enterprise. Ubuntu, it's very popular and easy to use. CentOS, it is also RHCL based. And Amazon Linux, provided by AWS servers. Okay, next is like all the flavors of Linux work similarly through command level interface. Okay, next, Linux versus Windows. The first we will see about Linux. Linux is a command line based. Through commands, it will run. We can use the Linux through command line interface. So we will write the commands. So, but Windows is a GUI based. That means graphical user interface. We can interact with the GUI means we can interact with the Windows with mouse and all the things, desktop icons and all. And Linux is lightweight, and Windows is heavy. Lightweight in the sense Linux require only minimal resources, less CPU and less memory is enough for Linux. And but Windows is not like Linux. Windows require more number of resources like CPU, RAM, and it requires more resources. So it is very heavy. Next one, Linux is free and open source. Linux is free and open source. We can use in our desktop machines, and in companies also small companies also they can use for free of cost. But Windows, if you want to use Windows, means it requires licenses. So it is a paid. You can't use Windows in operating system in the organization for free. It requires licenses. So it is a paid. Okay. Next, Linux is more secure. Linux is more secure. Windows is less secure. That's why companies use Linux. Here, now we will discuss about architecture of Linux. If you see, the first one is the user. User contains the application programs. Next is the shell. It is an interface between the user and the shell. Kernel is the heart of the operating system. Next one is the hardware. Hardware contains CPU, disk, RAM, memory. All the components will contains this hardware. Let's see the workflow of the how the Linux architecture works. We'll see in the next slide. See here, user types ls command. Okay. Then what shell is doing? Shell interprets it and asks kernel to fetch the directory contents. That means shell is interacting with the shell is asking to kernel to fetch the directory contents. So in the next third point is what? Kernel. Kernel is asking the hardware like disk for directory information. And next shell displays the result back to the user. So when user types the ls command, then shell will take the input and provide it to the kernel, and it will ask for the list of directories. Kernel will ask to hardware and about the list of directories, and it will again send it back to the user. That list of commands will be shown to the user. This is the architecture and workflow sample example workflow. Thank you guys. We will see in the next video on the practical part. On the basic commands and all we will see in the next video.